Welcome to Learn DVine Music. This is your music theory teacher, Miss Vine. Welcome to the video. Lesson 2. Modes. In this lesson we will be discussing more scales. These scales are modified to create a more unique sound and convey a better meaning through music. There are 7 modes, however 2 of these modes I discussed in the prior video. So what are modes? Modes are scale patterns that are formed based on notes within a scale. Each mode has its own unique sound, character and flavours, adding depth and colour to a composition. So what do modes do? Modes use a scale and changes its starting note to create a multitude of different scale variants. The different modes are Ionian, which is major, Dorian, which is smooth and jazzy, which is a minor scale, Phrygian, which is Eastern Spanish and Latin, which is a minor scale, Lydian, which is dreamy and ethereal and a major scale, Mixolydian, which is smooth and bluesy, a major scale, Aeolian, which is the natural minor, Locrian, which is unsolved and strange, which is a diminished scale. A diminished scale is something we'll get onto when we talk about harmony. Moving on to the methods of creating them. To create these modes, they require a pattern. There are 2 ways to create a mode. Method 1. Dorian is tone, semitone, tone, 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 semitone, tone. Lydian, tone, 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 semitone, tone, tone, semitone. Mixolydian, tone, tone, semitone, tone, tone, semitone, tone. Aeolian, tone, semitone, tone, tone, semitone, tone, tone. Phrygian is semitone, tone, 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 semitone, tone, tone. And finally Locrian, semitone, tone, tone, semitone, tone, tone, tone. I've told you the way to create Aeolian, even though I've told you that it is the minor scale, because it's the natural minor scale to the original major, and I've already told you how to create a major scale in the previous video. The natural minor has a completely different pattern. In the last video, I taught you the melodic minor scale. For modes, the minor scale pattern is tone, semitone, tone, tone, semitone, tone, tone. For a melodic minor scale, the pattern is tone, semitone, tone, 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 semitone. The method using half notes would be Dorian, whole note, half note, whole note, whole note, whole note, whole note, half note, whole note. Phrygian, half note, whole note, whole note, whole note, half note, whole note, whole note. Lydian, whole note, whole note, whole note, half note, whole note, whole note, half note. Mixolydian, whole note, whole note, half note, whole note, whole note, half note, whole note. Aeolian, whole note, half note, whole note, whole note, half note, whole note, whole note. Locrian, half note, whole note, whole note, half note, whole note, whole note, whole note. This method follows the method from the last video. Method 2, however, uses the major and minor scales and adapting them to create these modes. To create Dorian, you would use the minor scale, raise the 6th note, but use the natural minor. Phrygian, the natural minor and flatten the 2nd note. Lydian uses the major scale and raises the 4th note. Mixolydian uses the major scale and flattens the 7th note. Aeolian uses the major scale and flattens the 3rd, 6th and 7th notes. Locrian uses the natural minor and flattens the second and fifth note. There are many songs that use these scales. Here's some examples. For Dorian mode, for Mixolydian mode. For Lydian mode, for Phrygian mode, for Locrian mode. Thank you very much for watching. Please like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.